Run it, baby. Ricky Cheese, baby!
Welcome back to another episode of Grinding for Greatness with your boy, Ricky Cheese. Today's episode features multiple-time state champion coach Joe Blasucci of the Somerset Academy, Pembroke Pines. This episode is sponsored by the Gregory Group. As a seasoned real estate professional with a deep-rooted connection to Central Florida, Jason Gregory brings a wealth of knowledge and dedication to every transaction. With over 25 years of calling Central Florida home, his family's military background has instilled in him a very strong sense of commitment, integrity, and service. So whether you're buying or selling, they will go above and beyond to make the real estate process seamless and successful. Let the Gregory Group put their expertise and commitment to work for you as you embark on your real estate journey. Contact Jason today and make your real estate dreams a reality. So sit back and enjoy the show. I mean, you've had great teams, great years, but this year was pretty special, man. You had 3 state champions, 113-pounder Jake Austin, 132 Giovanni Solis, 165 Kendrick Hodge. Then you had 3 others that placed in the top 4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Mateo Gonzalez placed 3rd. He was very close to making the finals.
Yeah.
Questionable there. We'll get into that in a second. 175 Noah Perez took 3rd, I believe, and then the 4th. Luis, how do you say it?
Luis Ballon.
Yeah, 150 pounder.
Bayon. They tell me I'm getting it wrong.
Bellin.
Hey, look, that kid got 6 3 times so far.
Who did?
Lewis got 6, 6, and 6.
Not this year. Took
no,
4th.
Right. Well, I call him El Diablo, which is the devil in Spanish. So, of course, funny. I did it at the banquet when everyone can hear it.
I'm sure.
He got 4th this year. Truthfully, he wrestled his ass off.
Yeah, he did,
and he could have easily won that match. Actually, they stopped the match twice when he scored takedowns.
That's crazy.
Kind of controversial, but he wrestled hard, and the kid was his best friend since he was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
So they
who was that?
It was Brian Piccolo.
Oh, from
Gibbons. They're like best friends since they were little kids, playing out at each other's house.
Okay.
So it was, and Lewis has never lost to him, and it was a great match. It was in like overtime or something. I don't remember.
Very
but
cool.
He did well. He got 4th and had a couple other placers. So we had eight place overall with 3 champs.
Very nice. 8 champs and, I'm sorry. 8 placed overall, and how many champs? 3?
3 champs.
3 champs.
Matter of fact, that's the only match we lost in the placement round, which is the reason why we won state.
6 out of your 8 were top 4.
7 out of my 8 won their placement match is why we won. We were down 24.5 points going into the placement round.
Yeah.
And Matter Leagues had 9 guys in the placement rounds, and we had 8. That was and we won 7 of 8. They won 3 of 9.
So let me ask you a question. So you're down 24, whatever. What do you tell 24.5? What are you telling the kids? What are you telling them?
You know me, I see things in the crystal ball.
Yeah.
So I kind of know how things are going to play out.
Yeah.
I knew my 3 guys were going to win the state finals. They had 3 in the finals. We had 3 in the finals. I knew all 3 of mine were going to win. I thought there was a very good chance 2 would not win from them, and the 3rd one was a toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
They all lost. And we won and scored, and Kendrick pinned to get the extra 2 bonus points.
Right.
So even if the guy would have won the next match, which was the toss-up match, he would have we would have won by a half a point. But we were down 24.5. I kind of told the kids, you need bonus points. Everyone needs to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I preached that all year. This is a different group of kids. They're young. They're
very young.
8th graders, 7th graders.
Very young.
With a couple seniors, and so all year, they didn't buy into as much as the bonus points. Like last year, everyone scored bonus. We weren't even supposed to be within 30 or 40 points last year, and we almost won.
Mm-hmm.
Because our kids pinned. We had like 30-some pins at the state tournament.
Yeah.
That's like having 2 more state runner-ups.
Yeah.
So this year we didn't get that.
Last year it came down the wire between you and Jensen, right?
Yeah, which I mean, me
like
also
7
being
points
a crystal ball, we weren't supposed to be close. They were supposed to beat us by 30. I thought I'd get 135 points, and they get 175. Guess what? They got 177. We got 170.
Yeah,
we scored our points, but it was we overachieved last year. This year, I thought we'd score more. but we didn't get the bonus points because they're a younger crew. They don't. It's a different mentality when you see
Yeah.
guys paying the state champ. It's funny you mentioned this team. This team was perfect. It won every dual meet. It won the district duels, the districts, the region duels, the state, and the state duels, and it was undefeated.
Would you go as far to say it's the best team you've ever coached?
I can't say that. You know, the kids, it's funny because the older kids are still around. They come in the room and they're tight, you know, still. Some of them, the team 3 years ago, they talk so much crap to one another. It's like, you do realize that you would only win 4 matches against us in a dual meet.
Oh, I
That's what
love
the
that.
kids from 21 said.
Yeah.
And the kids from 20 said they'll beat the kids from 21, who were probably, those two are my best teams.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, truthfully, in 20, we had Lake Island Prep still. And I had like 5 guys in the finals, and we lost by 100 points.
Right. That's crazy.
We scored 196 points and lost by 100.
It's hard when you
we
got
only
a
scored
team like
157 this year.
right.
So you do the math. If they weren't there, we would have scored 240, 250.
Of course.
So, and then the year after that was just a phenomenal team. We had 5 in the finals again with 4 champs.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably not the best team, but this team actually pulled it out. You know,
Yeah.
it was such an eclectic mix of, you know, Kendrick became a leader. You know, he didn't care about anything when he got there 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Before, like, it was just Kendrick, and then he just came out and he was giving the speech at the end of practice every day, telling them to do their homework and all that. And so it was 8th, 9th graders with like 4 seniors. That's pretty much what the whole team was, and a couple juniors. And we had some injuries. We had 2-time state finalists have knee surgery, and the Saints kid, the other Saints kid couldn't make the weight. So those 2 guys would have finished in the top 2. We would have scored a lot more points with the full lineup.
Yeah.
But it was what it was. And it was kind of, I will tell you as a coach, I was more, of course, the first one was great. Went in, we won the duels, and we won the individual. And my dad had just passed away in between those 2, like the week before states. So that was very important to me. You know, my dad.
Of course.
And that was great. But I got to say, coming back from 24.5 points in the placement rounds, with 9 guys in their placement matches and 8 in ours, and winning by 4.5 was exciting.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So we needed a little help, and we needed to do our jobs, and we did our jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. It was exciting to watch too from the stands. So what is this? Your 14th, 15th, 16th year at Somerset? Something like that, right?
No, it's 13 years.
Oh, 13. All right.
13 years. I actually have all that stuff here. I just did the final
13
final
years.
stats for the year. 13 years. This year was our 13th year.
Yeah, and
we started from scratch. We never had a team before I got here.
Oh, I remember you had, you know, here's the thing, and I want to take a little time out to say this. You know, a lot of times with these charter schools, these private schools, and now even the public schools, you hear, you know, you got all these assholes saying, they fucking recruit, they this, they that. Listen, man, I can tell everybody who's listening and will be listening, this guy had fifth and 6th graders that never fucking wrestled before. You want to talk about homegrown? A perfect example, Benton. Nick Benton was what,
Aaron
5th grade?
Estevez, all of those kids.
It's endless. It's endless. You don't even have to name them, you know. But for the people that are out there, this guy started with absolutely nothing and built that program to what it is. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, do kids come to that school? Yeah, fucking right they do. It happens. Lake Highland Prep, they go there. St. Thomas Aquinas back in the day, they went there. Gibbons, they still go there. It's everywhere, you know, South Day, anywhere. Any winner is going to attract other winners. It's just the way it is. What do you want the guy to say? No, you're not. You can't come to my school. Come on, guys, stop.
Well, that's my problem. Actually, I tell too many kids they can't.
Oh, really?
Truthfully.
Let's hear about that.
Well, I when I get certain, you know, like parents, could be the parent, could
it's
be the
be
kid
a good
has an
fit.
attitude.
It's got to be a
just
good
not
fit.
right. If the kid doesn't care about school, and that's fine. I'd like to take a kid on like that and change their lives. And it sounds corny, but building champions and changing lives, something I came up with like 10 years ago.
I like that.
And that is the truth. It's changing lives, because I know all the kids that have come through the program, some in that situation, some are very smart. I got engineers and doctors and every other thing in the world already
Yep.
right now working. And take a Kendrick Hodge, for instance, who came inner city, never cared about school. He graduated with a 3.1. He had a 2.0000
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
when he came, and actually had to do summer classes to make up some of it to be that way.
Yeah.
And he's fully college bound. He's killing it. And so that I get much pride in that as well as others. But I won't take every kid. I won't take the kid whose dad wants to be in the room or be in the corner or be. I just don't do that. It's just, I don't know. It's stubborn, whatever you want to call it. I've passed on a lot of kids and never say their names. It's just,
Right.
it's not going to be that way here. You're not going to tell me what we're going to do.
Right.
And so I pass on kids. I'm too stubborn. And people go, why would you do that? And they end up somewhere else. And it is what it is. And I hope the best for them. But I just won't take anyone. And you're not always right. And, kids are kids. Parents are parents. And you can't be perfect. But I have integrity in that realm. And that's more important to me than whether they come or don't come or recruit. Oh, you recruit. I don't recruit anybody. The people that come to me. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, it is what it is. But the amount of kids I've had since the 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade, it's a ton of them. And it just hasn't really ended. So when you bring that bunch, you get 1 or 2 stragglers that come in and get into an eclectic group of those kind of kids. It elevates their game, even though they might be the better wrestler or the big talent. It elevates them to be a better student, to be a better person, to be a better teammate, to be a better student, everything in life. So that's what this program's about.
Oh, for sure. And I've been around since day one, and I've watched it, and I've seen kids on your team that started with you in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. They had brothers at other private schools, and they stayed with you throughout their high school career. Gillis, one of them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, both.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. Some don't. I mean, there is. I mean, you get kids. It's just, you get a good family, you get a good kid. He's a good wrestler. He fits a need. I don't try to weed out my kids that I have been developing.
Right.
But hey, I don't have a heavyweight. I don't have a whatever it is.
Right.
Sure, it works out, but you're going to do things like this, and this is how it's going to be here. If
Now,
you
let
want to
me
do
ask you
that,
this.
then you come.
With a charter school, obviously, there's a lot of really good kids, middle school, who are good enough to wrestle on a varsity program. So, they seek out a program like yours because you're a charter school. They can wrestle, as a 6th, 7th, or 8th grader.
Well, we've had 19 state champions in the 13 years I've been here.
Yeah.
And we've had 9 middle school state champions.
Exactly.
9. That's never been done anywhere.
Yeah, it's a huge. Well, that I didn't know. That's a huge number
in the country. Lake Highland, all of them. That's never. No one's ever had 9 state middle school champions.
Have you? That's an unbelievable accomplishment. But let me get this out before I forget what I'm going to say, because I tend to do that every now and then. Out of those great ones that you've had, have you ever had the parent come up to you and say, "Listen, my kid's going to come here for the next 2 years, but then he's gone. I'm telling you right now, he's not staying here."
Right from the beginning, when we started out,
How did you handle that?
You know what? The real ones and the best people and the ones you feel most fondly about looking back 10 years later are the ones that are just flat out honest.
Yeah.
I'll give you one, Franco Valdez. Valdez came to me with tears in his eyes after the 8th grade because he had to re-enroll for the 9th grade with tears in his eyes and says, "Hey, we're going to go. I know you told me you were going to go to Southwest originally."
Right. And you're good with that.
But he was upset. Like, he didn't wait and just let it, let it play off and then not show up. He just flat out was frank. And I go, "Frank, I understand. We started as a first-year program. There was a place for your kid to wrestle. He wrestled. And so you always appreciate people. That's why you want people like that.
Exactly.
Period. Because those people have integrity, and that's fine. It is what it is. I will always tell you, I'm pretty cold, which you probably know. And I tell my kids, like Nick Benton, great example, great story. Nick Benton goes, "How you going to replace me, coach?" You know what I mean? I go, and he lost to like Ben Golden or somebody in the state
Yeah.
finals. I go, well, I pull the phone up. I've said he scored 20.5 points at the state tournament. And I go like this. I go, I'll tell you how I replace you with a 4th placer and a 6th placer.
Just like that.
And he goes like this. Geez, 7 years, 8 years. You're just going to replace me just like that? I go, well, you asked the question.
Exactly.
I'll get a 4th placer and a 6th placer. They're sitting right in this room.
There's your 20
and they'll
points.
replace your team points.
Yep.
And that's the truth. And I have that mentality when I deal with people. So I try not to compromise as much as possible. But there's just some good families and good kids, and you want to be a part of it. And the kids, it's been great.
This episode is sponsored by the Gregory Group. As a seasoned real estate professional with a deep-rooted connection to Central Florida, Jason Gregory brings a wealth of knowledge and dedication with every transaction. With over 25 years of calling Central Florida home, his family's military background has instilled in him a very strong sense of commitment, integrity, and service. So whether you're buying or selling, they will go above and beyond to make the real estate process seamless and successful. Let the Gregory Group put their expertise and commitment to work for you as you embark on your real estate journey. Contact Jason today and make your real estate dreams a reality. I hear there's a little rumor the South Florida Lightning is getting brought back. 20-year anniversary.
So it's the 20th year of the South Florida Lightning. It was created back in 4-5, and it was something. How I do everything else, I was told I couldn't do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, oh, really? Okay, I'll show you.
Right.
And I was a contractor at the time, had some money in my pocket, and I was young and brash. And somebody told me I couldn't bring a team up there unless I bought uniforms from them or something else to NHSCAs. So I created South Florida Lightning. So, oh, yeah, I'll show you. And just started up.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of crushed it for a while. I mean, within the second year, we were already competing in the Final Four at NHSCA duels. And I mean,
it was a
some
team
of the best kids that ever wrestled in Florida. I mean, literally.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
95% of them wrestled on this team over the last 20 years.
I was just going to say, one of the big deals is that you were wrestling on one of the South Florida Lightning teams. Like anyone who was anyone was on a South Florida Lightning team. If you were not on a South Florida Lightning team, you probably weren't a state champ because you
wanted to be. Oh, yeah. And then I started bringing the South Florida Thunder. Right. Even the Storm one year.
Yeah.
Because I had so many kids. So
and let me tell you, the Thunder, my kid was a state finalist. Dylan was on the Thunder.
A lot of kids were.
He was on the Lightning one year, but he was on the Thunder.
Singletary was that year, the same year.
They were tough, dude. They were tough.
No. And that team would be in the top 25 at the tournament as the backup team because it was loaded. It was Kendrick Sanders, Tobias, Scott Vicentes, Eric Chandler, Earl Hall, Willie Wiggs,
Ron Hall.
All of those guys wrestled on those teams.
Everyone.
Teams.
Who was the heavyweight from Olympic Heights? Mike
Kasoy.
Lawrence Kasoy.
Yeah. Even Bobby Christopher was a good heavyweight back at Cardinal Gibbons in the first 2 years.
Yeah, man. You guys
really good. We had some great
teams.
teams, and that was great stuff. And then maybe you got one or two. Why do you do that? It doesn't even benefit your own kids. One or two of my kids make those teams, and they've just become better.
Exactly.
Period. And
Yep.
And you surround yourself with a Kendrick Sanders and a Scotty Sentes and those guys, and next thing you know, your level's up,
dude.
And that was fun. And we were brash, and it was an eclectic group of kids that we had a lot of fun. And there's too many stories to tell that are known, but it was great, and the camaraderie, and people were like, Florida doesn't suck anymore, literally.
Right.
Because some of these kids never left the state. I know because I took them out and said they told me they never been out of the state before.
Right.
And then they're like, you get some kid from Pennsylvania, it's like, whoa, who am I wrestling? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Where's this come from?
Yeah.
Because they were not exposed. And I'm proud that South Florida Lightning in the 2000s, I know that Brandon and Oviedo were top teams in that area, and they were doing the Fargo stuff and all that. But when I took those kids from a mix of kids from every society, and then put them all on one team together and went to Delaware to the Brute Scholastic duels and the
Yep.
NHSCA duels and the
Mhm.
Disney duels. And we're banging with Pennsylvania and every state and beating those teams and beating New Jersey. And they're like, wow, Florida is not a joke, you know?
Mhm.
And I think it elevated the game of our elite guys, you know, and
100%.
and and you know, and that's kind of where I just I like to assemble. I'm a contractor. I'm a builder. I'm a cook. I like to put things together and make them
Mhm.
work.
Yep.
You know, and that's kind of where I take pride in what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Now, one of those teams we were talking before the show, Rat Williams from South Dade wrestled Jordan Oliver. Oliver beat him in, I guess, in overtime.
Yeah,
And
it was overtime sudden victory or something like a ride
yeah,
out or something like that. And Scotty Sentes was on the team, and Scotty Sentes was challenging him, and I was egging him on. I'm like, Scotty, tell him to give him $10 if he wrestles you, you know, in a match, in an exhibition. And so he was egging Jordan on, you know, and then eventually he goes, I'll give you a singlet if you beat me, you know, it's all kind. And then he goes, so he wrestles James Williams, Rat Williams from South Dade. And he comes over after and he goes, Scotty, he goes, what was that kid, like a 2-time state champ? He goes, nah, he was JV. Because Rat Williams was a junior. He was JV on his team at South Dade.
yeah,
And he lost to him in like ride out, you know, or something like that.
it's nuts, man.
And he's like, no, really? And I'm like, yeah, really. He's
A lot of
really.
those kids that couldn't crack that South Dade lineup as freshmen could have been state champs on any other team.
Yeah,
That's the way it was.
there was definitely some. And now as I grow and I have a deeper team, I got kids riding the pine that plays. They
Oh
can't
yeah.
get in the lineup, you know,
Oh
and they're
yeah.
just average kids, but
Yeah.
like they get 5th, 6th, 7th place. They can't make the lineup. So I guess you surround yourself with good people, and it's like eventually it's your turn. You try to make it their turn.
Absolutely. And then you know, a couple of those teams, God damn, I forgot what I was just going to say. Oh, a couple of those teams finished in the as high as what, third or second at Disney duels?
Third, 2 times at Disney, third at NHSCA, fourth at NHSCA, fourth and fifth at NHSCA.
Yeah,
When that was the big one before Disney. It
legit.
was actually, truthfully, probably NHSCA is harder than Disney even now in the All
Yeah.
Star division.
Yep.
And we finished fourth, fifth, third at NHSA's,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like in the 2011, 2007, that first year we got fifth.
Yeah.
We got fifth place, and then 2011 we got fourth. I remember we beat the Jersey team to do that, and lost to, I think we lost to not Young Guns, Diesel, PA.
I remember Diesel.
We lost to Diesel in a decent match, and then we came back. We got fourth.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, those were great teams against. I mean, the best kids in Pennsylvania, the best kids
Oh
in
yeah.
Ohio, the best
Yep.
kids in New Jersey. Just crazy amount of kids that we saw doing that. And then at Disney it was the same. So it's been good. I think it gives Florida a go, and it for a while there it was doing it, you know. And
There
now
was an
kids make a
instant
difference.
respect among these kids. You know, you'd be at a tournament during the year and you'd see a kid walking around, you know, lightning shirt on. Another kid would be like, oh, you were on a lightning team? Yeah, I was on 2 years. Oh man, I was on a team too. It's like an instant respect. And then you got the other kids who have never on a lightning team that are trying so damn hard to get onto a lightning
I
team.
know.
And that's like the pinnacle of, I made the fucking lightning, man. I'm wrestling with the lightning. And well, guess what? If you're wrestling with the lightning, you're pretty damn fucking good, because there were no scrubs on that team, man.
No, I mean, a fill-in was like a 2-time placer
Yeah,
because somebody got hurt or
right.
we couldn't fill the weight. It'd be some guy got second or third, like, and
No,
that was
exactly. No, my
that was the
kid,
weakest guy on the team.
my
I
son
mean,
Dylan,
literally.
at one time, he was a state finalist. He was like a backup to a Lightning guy. Wrestled for the Thunder, got a few Lightning matches because one of the Lightning guys got hurt. But yeah, and this kid was a fucking state finalist. So
Yeah.
it's unreal. Do you have any interest in kids wanting to get on the team for this year? Do they have you
I
even
do.
mentioned?
There's a lot. We've been kind of doing it back door. some of the heavy hitters in Florida. But the problem is, it's what weekend it is, what day it is.
Oh,
There's so many of these commitments, so we're trying to put one together for Disney. We have the Hammers verbally committed,
okay.
so it would be filling the other weights. It's something I'm working on here the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
But we have some serious heavy hitters, nationally ranked guys that will wrestle
Beautiful.
on the
Beautiful.
team, which means the other kids will wrestle with them
Yep.
because they want to be on the team with them. And
Yep.
we would like to. I'd like to make a 20-year run. I'd like to just throw it back together. COVID kind of messed it up, and then
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of work. It was a lot of work taking those teams all
Oh,
over.
the
All
logistics
over the
behind it
country.
must
Shoot,
be
remember we
fucking
in
heavy.
Texas? Didn't I take one of your kids to Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Texas and the Mid-South duels. I was on
Yep.
Flow Wrestling and all that. So it was
Dylan went to Dylan. Yeah, I think it was Dylan and
What
Louisiana. One of them was Louisiana too.
Louisiana.
Dylan
Yeah,
was
we
on
won
that team.
the whatever duels those were, the
Yep.
South duels. And we went to Alabama and wrestled in the
Yeah. Dylan was on a couple of
Dixie duels and
Bryce
all of
was on
that.
one or two.
So we were
Yeah.
doing it, the circuit, but that was when I could drive 20 hours straight
Right. Right.
through the night. That's
And when you put a group of kids like that together from all
Oh.
walks of life, man, there's got to be a lot of laughing.
Oh, there's so much, dude. I'll tell you this, crazy ass Ozzy Lugo. We're driving to Texas. I don't know if your kid was on the team or not. Some bitch put a blanket over my head while I was driving the van.
Oh, that sounds like Ozzy.
Yeah, a little crazy. He pulled it up. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I get you, coach. I'm like, you
Holy
crazy
shit.
son of a bitch.
For any parents that are considering putting their kids on a lightning team, it doesn't happen often.
That was like 10 years, 8 years ago. 10
Yeah,
years
that
ago.
would never happen now. Never.
No,
happen.
but it was the group. It was fun. It's funny though. I mean, it's you go to the gas station, they're pranking one another. You know what I mean? The kids.
But you know what? It's you hear this said all the time, but it's so cliche. But they do make lifelong friendships, man. They really do.
They do, and it's still. I saw, like I said, a kid that was like a 3-time state final, 4-time state final. He told me the other day, he goes, those trips, he goes, that's why I coach the way I coach, is the experiences I have with you are a lot of the reasons why I do that.
Yeah.
And he goes, I never forget those times. And you're talking 10 years ago.
Right.
11 years
Absolutely.
ago. So when I hear that, that's why you do stuff too. It's when kids call you and ask for advice and things after they're 2, 3, 4 years out of college. And, that's kind of, those relationships never fail.
That's got to be so rewarding having a guy like that come back and say something like that. But going back to what you were saying earlier about, some of the best kids that have ever come out of Florida were on a Lightning team. It's so true. Like, look where they're at now. Okay, Scotty Sentes has been a D1 coach for God only knows how many years.
7 years. Yeah,
exactly. You got
one of the best, probably one of the top.
2-time All-American, right? I think
probably
twice.
top 2, 3 kids ever to come out of Florida, in my opinion.
For sure. For sure. Yep. He went to Riverdale. Give them a little plug.
No. He wrestled with me since the 8th grade, though, with the Lightning. So
yeah,
I had 5 years with him.
That's crazy. And then you got a guy like Pat Lugo.
Pat Lugo, another great kid. I'm helping him.
Big Ten champ.
Yeah, of course. And should have won NCAA. Pat wrestled. I got to tell you, Pat probably wrestled on more South Florida Lightning teams than anybody ever.
I know that. That's why I brought
probably his name coached up. In his corner 150 times.
Yeah.
Which is a lot when you're not his high school coach.
Yeah, it is. He was on the show
I'm
last
helping
week.
Pat run that tournament down that he has at the Indian tribe thing.
I'm helping him promote it. We just had him on. He was on the first episode. You're on the second. That's Pat's a great thing. The Miami Hawks.
He's good. It's Pat and Ozzy, but Pat has been great, and I'm actually setting up this tournament for him, and
yep.
I love that.
Are you going to run you're going to be
I'm running the tournament.
Oh, beautiful. That'll be a nice, smooth tournament.
And Shandy Austin, I'm dragging her in too. So.
Well, you can't go wrong with her, man. She runs
I'm the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So however big it wants to get, we can handle it.
She knows what she's doing, dude. She used to run those hammerhead
It's been a blessing having her over there with me right now because we're sitting at the table and we're like, I'm feeling pretty confident. Like 2 of the best 5 tournament runners in the state are sitting at one table together.
Yep.
So
for sure.
that's been a blessing. That's part of the Somerset family I have, and that family is wonderful. But yeah, we're gonna run. I'm definitely running that tournament Sunday, so should be pretty good. Should
Yeah,
be a
I'm
good
looking
camp.
forward to that. I'm gonna have the podcast booth set up. We're gonna be talking to people live from that tournament, so it's gonna be real cool. But anyway, I know it's getting late, Joe. I'm gonna let you get back to your family, your wife. What'd you cook for dinner tonight? Anything special on the menu?
I made my own pastrami.
You did.
Yes,
Okay.
3
For
4
those that
hours.
don't know,
Yeah.
Joe is an amazing chef. He really, really is. He's taught me a lot of his recipes. And what would be your favorite recipe to cook for your wife? What does
My
she
wife
like the
just
most?
likes anything I cook, which I
Yeah.
gotta say, man,
I love looking at the pictures of it.
she's not picky. Like I made that pastrami tonight and slice it nice and thin, and so no, just whatever.
Pastrami on rye?
Anything.
You put it on rye?
I did. I put it on a pumpernickel rye and some mustard and
Nice.
some light
Got it.
cheddar with a couple of pickles in there.
Gotta have it
And
like that.
it was good.
You talk pastrami and rye, you got this Jewish guy drooling over
Yeah.
here.
Well, I bought a couple for St. Patrick's, and I put one in the
So
box and made it this week. So
beautiful, beautiful. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Listen, Somerset Academy, they're just a perennial powerhouse, and it's because of guys like Coach Blasucci. Kids are getting great educations over there. They're graduating and they're going to college. That's one thing real quick before I let you go. You put these kids in college, man. It's like, it ain't just about,
I've had 37
it's
kids
huge to you.
wrestle in college over that time, but there's more that didn't. That one kid's an electric engineer at Lockheed Martin, Danny Valador.
Yeah.
Graduated
I
school.
remember Danny.
Like, yeah, had a 5.3, 5.2.
Yep.
So I there's probably 37 that signed scholarships before last year in the 12 years, and I only have like 3 seniors a year, and then probably 8 or 10 more that forget about it. They're going to be engineers or whatever, surgeons or whatever. So
that's a wonderful thing.
That's great. That's the part. You're always proud of that, but it is, and that's, and not every kid's going to go to college. You know what I mean? But I help those kids too. They want to be
for sure.
in the fire academy or go in the military. I write them a letter.
Yep.
Whatever it is, it's just about succeeding. Not everybody's about college, So, but we've had a very high success rate with college, and they finish college.
That's the big thing.
That's the part. They're all finished kind of where they go. Where they start is where they finish, which shows you the consistency you get if you get a kid from Somerset. And that's
right.
That's when I send a kid to school, I can get another kid there, because usually the kid does the right thing. Maybe he's not a world champion, but man, he works hard, he wins, he comes to practice, he's a good teammate, a good student, a good character.
And he brings the team GPA up.
That's for sure. I do have some of those. That is most definitely. The year we had their best team ever, our GPA was a 3.517 unweighted, 4.7 weighted. That's everyone ridiculous. On the team. Every kid. That 21 team had a 3.517 weighted GPA.
Fucking brainiacs.
Unweighted.
Brainiacs.
Craziness. We won.
That is crazy. This episode is sponsored by the Gregory Group. As a seasoned real estate professional with a deep-rooted connection to Central Florida, Jason Gregory brings a wealth of knowledge and dedication to every transaction. With over 25 years of calling Central Florida home, his family's military background has instilled in him a very strong sense of commitment, integrity, and service. So whether you're buying or selling, they will go above and beyond to make the real estate process seamless and successful. Let the Gregory Group put their expertise and commitment to work for you as you embark on your real estate journey. Contact Jason today and make your real estate dreams a reality.